What's up, guys? This is Dylan.
Hi, I'm Quinn.
And you are watching, I guess, the FOMO show now.
Yes,
I mean,
the FOMO show.
We're doing our Loki coverage, and sorry about the lateness. Sometimes it just be like that. But
yes.
Yeah. And I don't know what I did at the beginning there. Things started jumping around. I think I meant to delete something. I deleted the wrong thing. But
well, I was looking at it. We were there for a second.
Yeah. But we're here now.
Yes.
So, crazy episode.
Crazy episode.
Insane.
Good episode. Really good episode.
Man.
And then they ended it. And I'm like, where's the rest of my movie?
I'm saying, like, this was definitely, like, this might be the best episode in the entire series.
Yeah.
And
still got one more to go.
Jeez. And there's a season 2.
Oh, well.
Yeah, we're going into season 2. Supposedly. We'll see. Sorry, I can't see very clearly. Usually clean my glasses before, but I was running a little bit behind. Excuse me.
Pardon me.
So, wow. Yeah. Excuse me as I ease into this. So please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon
Ding.
so that you know when we drop new videos or when we actually get to go live. Appreciate you guys watching and checking it out. And don't forget to check out the website at www.broken.pictures.com. So,
yes,
here we are.
Here we are.
And man, my little sound thing, one of my screens just suddenly decided to go blank, and right before we started. So now I'm like trying to multitask with my screens here.
Put it on our faces.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
With that, it's time for your spoiler alert. Yeah. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about episode 5 of Loki. If you haven't watched that, pause this, go watch that, then come back. Unless you enjoy being spoiled, you have been warned.
Yes. So, yeah. Oh, my bad. Yeah. I changed the screen up so some of the effects are a little bit lower than normal. Yeah. Maybe this one will actually work. Oh, hey. Anyways. Also, after all that nonsense, if you would like to sponsor the show or help us out in any way, check out the Patreon link. Also, I think on the Streamlabs link, there is a place. And if you're watching on Twitch, you can also, I think, tip or something like that. But we'd appreciate that. Thank you so very much. So, yeah.
Yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and get in. Episode 5. My goodness gracious.
Loki's everywhere. And still not a drop of actual clean water that an alligator hasn't been in to drink. I can only assume. I don't know where they got that water that he's in.
Yeah, is there like a tap in the bowling alley maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Because no one drinks water in this show. I've only seen folks drink juice.
And 90s era
90s era stuff and liquor.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ecto Cooler in this one. Kid Loki.
Ghostbusters.
I used to love some Ecto Cooler, man. I was all about it.
And then they rebranded it because he was... What was his name? Slime? Was it
Slimer?
Slimer? Yeah. Slimer was gross. So...
you disrespect Slimer.
Well, I mean, you don't want... You can put that on like a box of a kid's drink.
Yeah.
And like some kid is just going to get scared. And this was, the era where parents started to get real picky about things. Cause
in the 80s? No.
90s.
No, that's
From the 80s?
Ghostbusters is from
I
the
thought
80s, man.
Ghostbusters from the 80s, but the drink's from the 90s. Wasn't it from like the last Ghostbusters movie?
They might have brought it back, I guess.
Okay.
And that was only about maybe 5 years ago with the last one.
No, not last one. Like the last one from way back.
Yeah. Part 2?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That was when I was a kid, man. Oh, my gosh. Late 80s? Late 80s?
Ladies.
Yeah. Because I remember it was a big deal. Everywhere you went, there was, like, Ghostbusters stuff everywhere.
Gross.
What?
I'm kidding.
Just wait. This new one is coming.
This new one's gonna be real
Yeah,
good.
it's got Paul Rudd in it.
So it has to be good.
We'll see. I'm excited because it's the son
Has
of the
Paul
original
Rudd
director.
Has Paul Rudd been bad things?
I don't know. I think by nature, like you said, it's got Paul Rudd in it.
Yeah. So, I mean, if it had Vince Vaughn in it, I'd be worried. But it has Paul Rudd in it, so it should be okay.
That's funny. Poor Vince Vaughn.
Poor Vince Vaughn.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I've got like a hair or something that is like tickling right like on the inside of my eyeball.
That's fine.
So,
Yes, Loki.
as we do
And
as I
water.
do that.
So there's so many Lokis. Some of the Lokis don't even look like Loki.
Yeah, I saw one that had like a bicycle helmet with handlebars as horns coming off.
I just thought that Loki been there too long. But
He might have built his own. Everybody's got horns but me. And just did whatever he could find.
he found a bike that shouldn't have existed and just was boop, potted on his head with the helmet.
All
So, but yes, they can all. So let's start from the top of everything.
So
Which-
Ravana and Sylvie.
Kind of. It's the question that I proposed last week. That why are they trapped if they have their powers? Because they all have their powers. Everybody here can use their abilities.
Yeah, definitely.
And so the reason that they're trapped is Goliath, essentially.
Goliath, yeah.
Yeah.
You wanna explain who Goliath is?
He's a giant. Well,
I mean,
he's a corporeal
legitimate
time
smoke
monster that in this he kind of looks more like a drag. I feel like more like a dragon than a snake, but he just ages you beyond time pretty much when he touches you in the show. But Goliath is a creature that fought Kang and was preventing Kang from expanding his empire. Then Kang used another giant monster by the name of Tempest that looked like a chrome action figure from the 80s. Like Voltron gone wrong, but not Voltron. No. Okay, yeah. It looked like He-Man. Looked like a chrome He-Man with spiky hair. That's what it looked like. That
Wow.
was Tempest.
That's not the Ravana.
Huh?
That's not the. So that yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I was thinking of the alternate, like the future version of Ravana,
Oh, the
Renslayer.
Terminatrix?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's different.
that's different.
So I mean,
But
Kang Watch is in full effect. I think at this point
all
we're
signs point to Kang, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not Kang.
I don't know, man. We're like
Definitely not Kang.
I think it's like we've got all the elements. Like we're on the edge of a Kang warning here.
Because everything
Much.
is because it looks like a duck, it talks like a duck, and it walks like a duck. It's not a duck.
I don't know. I mean,
It's-
even Loki said expect the expected. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like if we're judging by the other shows, the expected is Ralph Boner.
Yeah. The expected is it's not. The expected is Kane, but I don't think it's Kane. And also, we've been through the thing that Loki's like to betray everything. Literally, when they were in the bunker bowling alley, Loki's betrayed Loki's and just started fighting, and someone lost a hand.
Yeah.
It was President Loki. It was
President
hilarious.
Loki.
Which President Loki was just Tom Hiddleston, which makes everything. I was like, wait, is that really Tom Hiddleston? I don't think it is. It has to be. He looks just like him.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
So-
I
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
don't think it's Kang. I think it's another Loki, and I think Loki has been holding Kang back this entire time. And that's why Alioth is being a guard dog for the other Loki, and then Kang, he's also preventing Kang from imposing his will amongst everything else. And anytime Kang tries to set a seed, Loki has someone from the TVA going psst, psst, pruning stuff. Psst. That's literally the sound it makes. Psst.
All the digital matrix.
I wonder if it hurts.
Sounds like it does.
Sounds
Like it does. And what's funny is when Alioth eats people, they make that same noise.
Huh.
So I wonder if he's displacing them somewhere else, or if they're actually dying.
He's aging. From what it looks like, he's aging them to the point where they would not be anything anymore. Like, you age. No, not that, because that will be that for a very long time.
Like Loki, old classic Loki's helmet.
Like classic Loki's helmet.
Yeah.
It looked all rusted and like old, like you could just go up and stomp it with your foot and it's gonna go. And he was nowhere to be found because he got disintegrated into nothing. And if you're wearing regular cloth clothes, that's also gonna get aged into nothing.
Yeah, it makes sense. Only the metal helmet would remain because his Kermit little thing is gone. So just to kind of recap all of the Kang Easter eggs and things that we've seen. In this episode alone, it was just like thing upon thing upon thing because, I mean, obviously we've got Renslayer, who was cast, and not just another judge, who has a huge backstory, and even her first appearance is the same as Kang's in the comics. So we've got her, and we've got Alioth, which was Renslayer accidentally loosed Alioth or something and had to get the Avengers help, and Kang showed up and it was a giant mess.
It was a kerfuffle.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Alioth is another giant Kang reference in itself, holding Kang back and the guard dog but on the border of Kang's kingdom. And then we've got the Avengers Tower that we saw now has, was it QENG Kang, which in the comics was Franklin Richards' company, who the man who became
Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, a man who became Kang, and then let's see what else was there.
Oh, the building, the one passing by that had the 2018 with the whatever on it. That was also a reference to Kang as well. But 2018 is when the snap happened, so it might have been a building that shouldn't existed at the time of the snap.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. There were the pyramids.
Yeah.
And there was a sphinx.
That has its nose.
Yeah, and Kang used a sphinx, like his oldest incarnation, Immortus, used a sphinx to time travel, and basically he was a 31st century scientist, got bored, played with time travel, went back in time, and it became King Tut or something like that.
King Tutankhamun.
Yeah, and Immortus, and he time traveled in a sphinx and took over. And I wonder if he had any run-ins with Apocalypse. Yeah,
Probably.
because I mean I know there's that's a long time for the Egyptian kingdom and all that stuff. But
There was somebody who did time travel shenanigans in one storyline, and they were the reason mutants were created. Or maybe I'm getting mixed up with DC. That's also a huge possibility.
Yeah, because the immortal, or not the immortals, the Eternals are kind of where the X gene variant came from.
Yeah.
Which that movie is coming up as well.
Also, yes. But also, Dylan, you're proving my point. All these prune things here are Kang things.
Well, okay. Yeah, so we've got Kang thing, and so I think we're for WandaVision we're very leery to say, like we kept saying, oh, it's Mephisto, it's Mephisto. We've seen all these things, right? I think the proof for Kang is a lot thicker than the proof for Mephisto.
Want me to throw one more at you?
Yeah.
All right. So Ravonna Renslayer doesn't really know what's going on. She knows more because he has a little bit more insight just because she is a judge, but she is also a variant that has her memory wiped. Mm-hmm. And she is a hostage.
You think so? So she's a hostage?
She's a hostage. Like, she moved up to the ranks and now she's like in this position, and she thinks that she's in this position because whatever. But memory's wiped, that none of that truly matters, but she's actually here as whatever you want to call him, the last Loki hostage to make sure Kang doesn't come into the TVA. Like, don't mess with my stuff, and I'm also going to make sure you can't hatch any schemes or plans to try to stop me from doing this.
I see. Okay. So you're saying like the actual big bad behind the TVA at least is old Loki. Just like in the Agent Loki comic, it's actually old Loki.
Yeah.
So the classic Loki we saw, he's already told us that he faked his own death once before. With so he could have very well just did it again.
So real that even the Mad Titan thought it was.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, he has the chutzpah to do it because whole Asgard and everything.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, also I know I'm jumping around here, but I always do. The implications that now it's very possible that Loki didn't die because he knows how it ends and he knows how to fix it.
Yeah.
And we're getting a Loki season 2, so I mean, how else are we gonna have that without Loki surviving? Or maybe he's just gonna live in the void or whatever. Who knows?
Also, other thing. Continue with your thing, because mine's gonna go off in a whole different hole.
Okay, so let me wrap up the whole Kang thing. So, I mean, I kind of like that. There were with your, it's actually King Loki, I guess, or old Loki, holding Ravonna hostage so that he can hold Kang at bay, and he's actually doing a good thing by having the TVA and all this stuff.
A good thing.
Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, in the bigger picture, he's holding Kang back.
Yeah.
But so there's another theory that that we will see Kang because, well, hold on, let me back up for a second. There is one scene from the trailers that we have not seen yet. That is the King Loki scene.
Yeah.
So that is the one where Loki sits on an Asgardian throne that is Loki's throne. It's in Loki's throne room. And that could be the final Loki. And that'd be funny if he was missing a hand and it was actually President Loki. But so
side note, sorry. There was, what's the name of that movie? There was a kids movie, a Peter Pan adaptation. Tom Hiddleston voiced a young Captain Hook. He didn't lose his hand, but
yeah. Funny connection. So this other theory says that we will see Kang because he is Kang the Conqueror, and he has to have already conquered something. And this could be them setting him up as Kang the Conqueror. He comes on the scene, and he's already conquered time and space.
Yeah.
And now,
Or at least, so he could still be Kang the Conqueror, conquering the 31st century. But he's trying to conquer all of time and space. And since all of time and space throughout this sacred timeline, it has just been Loki fighting Kang the whole time.
yeah, just in the background,
Just
we
in the
never even knew.
Never even knew.
That's why it's so crazy. Is they just keep peeling back the layers, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, everything we've done from phase 1 means nothing because Infinity Stones are paperweights.
Infinity Stones are paperweights here. And also, classic Loki said, you know, the thing about the thing with the blades, and you can't rival a Loki sorcery. This Loki, he did some things that Loki, that we know, has not done. He opened a whole portal that was different than Doctor Strange's portal. That's his own little green door. And he, not to mention the super illusion. Like, he has powers, sorcery powers beyond.
Are you talking
current
about
Loki.
when he and Sylvie enchanted? That you talking about our Loki?
Classic Loki?
Okay,
Like, when they
older
were
Loki.
when they were
Okay.
down there fighting in the bowling alley. That's what it was. Yes.
Oh, he did. He did
Yeah.
open a portal.
He conjured versions of them, all four of them: Alligator Loki, Kid Loki, Normal
Loki.
Loki, Normal
2012 Loki.
and himself. And then they all went fighting, and they didn't disappear right away. They weren't illusions. They were just basically copy, go fight. And then he opened a door, and they just walked out. So man got the power.
Yeah,
So with the things,
yeah. I mean that's a very good point. I didn't even think about that. If he can open portals through time and space because they went outside.
because they went outside.
Yeah, they went to
Yeah.
another location.
Yeah.
Why
And then-
couldn't? Yeah.
and
Why
then
couldn't
with the-
he?
Why? Yeah. There's a lot of things, and then the thing you said with like how in the timekeeper's chamber it looked like runes, and you see all the red lines going through it. That mess. And if it is like the runes from WandaVision, where like only the caster of the rooms can actually be the one to perform magic. Whatchamacallit? What was I going?
The runes.
Yeah, the runes. Like, it's not just for aesthetic. What if they actually are runes, and the reason that no one can cast magic in the TVA or the Infinity Stones don't work, because in a sense they're magical. Well, yeah, because Doctor Strange used... Yeah, that's the whole thing. But yeah, they can't... No, that works is because of the runes that are, like, low-key hidden everywhere throughout the entire TVA.
And I guess those runes only apply to that specific Loki, and
Yeah.
not all the versions of
Not
Loki.
all versions of Loki. And then, what was my other thing? I had one more thing to add on to that.
Oh, you didn't tell me yet.
Nope, because I didn't think about it until just then, and then I forgot about it.
Runes all over the TVA.
Runes all over the TVA. And yes. We don't know how long he was actually, like, dead, like hiding out, because Asgardians live a very long time, so man could have been there 300 years. And like the thing I said last week, the older an Asgardian gets, the stronger they become.
Well, he's not technically Asgardian.
He's a frost giant though, but he learned magic from an Asgardian, and he's still old. I don't know if it applies for frost giants, but even still, he had time to refine and perfect his power.
That's true.
And who's to say he was the only one to do it?
And I mean, the dude. I mean, okay, so there are possible holes in his story where he pretended to be space junk or whatever. Everybody left, and then he just went and found his own place. And then when he decided to leave, that's when the TVA showed up. I mean, according to him.
According to him, a Loki.
who knows that
Loki.
that whole time that he was just setting up the TVA.
Just setting up the TVA to put into motion this entire plan, which is just a giant ass loop.
Which the original translation of the name Loki means loop. Oh my gosh. So, all right. So now I'm kind of convinced that there's Kang and old Loki. Ah, dang it. Why'd you do to this? Why'd you do this to me, Quinn? Oh. Okay.
It's the MCU.
Yeah. Shoot. Man, we know he's coming.
We know he's coming.
We know Kang is coming. And there's a Loki season 2. And what's going to be... Because usually... Well, I guess they usually do it like in the last episode. But there are elements for where the next season is going toward the end of the season, the last season.
Yeah.
And I have no idea.
No idea.
No idea.
No idea.
Where are we? What is going
I
on?
mean, it could be the TVA and chaos, but whatever.
Yeah. I love this not knowing and crazy fan theory stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I almost pity people who are going to watch it back to back and not have time to just
Absorb it
marinate and ruminate and
Yeah. Or they like accidentally scrolling through YouTube and see the last scene, like, huh, well, that's neat. I guess I'll go watch this show. It looks cool. Because you know that's going to happen.
yeah, they're going to know the secrets before they even start.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you go watch the movies, you're going to be caught up. They're going to catch you up.
Yeah.
So, and supposedly there's like an after credit scene in Black Widow, which comes out tonight.
Does it?
Yep.
Neat. I'm gonna go
Because it's Thursday and it comes out on Friday technically, and the day before or whatever.
doo-doo.
Excuse me. So there's some tie-in with what we've already seen, I think, in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, I thought you were about to say WandaVision. I was like, that's weird, Dylan.
That would be interesting. But, I mean, technically we were supposed to get Black Widow like a year ago.
To set all of these up, kind of.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious what it is. I'm assuming it's Val. And I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm assuming it's either Val or...
Ross.
or Power Broker.
Oh, yeah. The real power broker?
Or just a tease for the Power Broker.
Yeah. Who ends up just being Agent 13?
Yeah, which is... Please let them undo that with this. Yeah.
Ow.
I don't like the Agent 13 Power Broker thing.
I mean, so is Scarlett Johansson done with Black
she
Widow?
says so.
She says so.
Yeah, she
Okay.
says that this is it. You know, of course, we know how that goes. And there's a big thing right now where Kevin Feige has announced that they're no longer doing these giant multi-movie contract deals, that it's going to be a lot shorter.
So it's like almost kind of come and go as you please type of thing.
Ish.
Kinda.
Yeah. Which, that's kind of disappointing, because to me that was like the whole amazingness about the MCU is that
It solidifies things.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
lets you know. It kind of gives you a heads up of what you're in for.
yeah, and plus, I mean, as an actor, like, I guess that there's good and bad about that. Where, I mean, you're locked in, and if you get sick of it, you're screwed. But that is
Check.
exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that is a guaranteed check. That if you sign a 9-picture deal, it's like I can do whatever I want now on the side. I don't have to worry about money, or where my next paycheck is coming from.
You can go do your very strange and oddly intimate indie films, and then come back and go fight Thanos.
Yep, exactly.
Go
Yep.
do a movie where you're a phone talking to Joaquin Phoenix.
Her.
Her.
That was a strangely interesting movie. I actually liked it. Although there was weird stuff in there.
Oh yeah, there was. There was.
Scarlett Johansson has done some weird indie stuff here lately. Weird indie stuff.
I mean, she done made her money, Dylan.
She did. I mean, she's solidified her place in the, for lack of a better word, the ecosystem of her legendary statuses. Yeah.
Yes.
And she could come back. She'd do whatever she wants.
Like Loki. All I really want for the Ghost. Did you laugh?
Oh no, that was my shoe squeaking on the
Okay.
thing. He is passing gas over here. Sorry, I apologize for that. The
It's all
dog.
right. My sniffer don't work right. It's fine.
Well, lucky you, because man, he's let a couple rip just since we've been in here.
All I really want for the Scarlett Johansson scene, for the last scene in Black Widow, the mid-credit scene or the super end credit scene, is just like, oh, Red Skull standing there, because I think everybody wants that. Like, time portal opens up, Captain America walks through, him and Red Skull have a quick exchange, he returns the Soul Stone, and then Black Widow just and then end.
Have you seen that meme where you know how they show up and he's like, son of whatever?
Yeah.
And he sees Captain America and he's like, son of a bitch, you're still alive?
How are you alive, America? If I had legs, I'd kick you.
Rogers. That was a horrible accent. But, excuse me.
Yeah.
Everybody's got this allergy thing going on. It's like,
Allergy.
yeah, I mean, I'm vaccinated, so I know it's not COVID. Unless there's another strain that's kicking my butt or something.
This is the Zeta strain. It turns you into a zombie.
No! It's kind of what everybody was hoping, Loki.
Dude.
Hold up. There's the actual... There's a thing for that.
There's a thing for that.
Ha!
Oh yeah, and here's Ghost. But
But yes, back to Loki. Where were we? Yeah, Kang Watch. I believe. I mean, Kang. I will say Kang Watch is in effect. I believe it.
full effect. Yeah.
Full effect.
I would not be surprised. Like, I kind of like the misdirect where you've got old Loki holding back Kang, and then they tear through and they tear down old Loki's thing and defeat the TVA or whatever, and
Because that's Sylvie's goal, and Loki, who's in love
yeah,
with
and
Sylvie,
Renslayer, who is like,
she just wants to find everything out.
yeah, but weirdly still like, the TVA needs stability. It was like, excuse me?
I mean, that's what brainwashing does.
That's true. Like, that's all she's got.
Yeah.
But
It's like, who are you without the thing that you have
the
built?
thing that's defined you.
Yeah, for so long.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, she obviously wants to know what's going on, but she doesn't want to tear it down necessarily.
Yeah.
She just wants to things to go back to normal, which is, I can understand that.
Yeah.
But also, Miss Minutes. Is she a bad guy or... Because, I mean, so when she's when Sylvie and Renslayer are kind of like... they're talking, and obviously Renslayer is stalling. But Miss Minutes is in on it. Oh, I'm looking. It should be any minute, y'all.
Minute, darling.
Yeah. But it seems like, there's like a little mutual wink between them, but no actual communication to let even the audience know that they're on the same page. So...
non-verbal cues.
Yeah, have they just been working together for so long, or is there more to Miss Minutes than meets the eye? I mean, somebody said she's got no hands on her face because they're behind her back.
Kind of. Wait, does she have hands on her face?
This is just going to be the entire time, actually. I'll just put it on a loop. Just dad jokes.
Does she have hands on her face? She doesn't? She doesn't.
I don't think so. They're on the side.
I hate character design sometimes. Okay, that's fine.
That's where they were like, is she a compass? Is she a clock? Like,
She's
and so I'm pretty sure I'm getting this from like a new Rockstars thing. So there is a theory that she okay. So you know who Friday is, right? Mm-hmm. That's Tony Stark's AI, right?
Yeah, she's a variant of Friday.
She's a variant of Friday, which the days of the week are measurements of time, minutes. So there's that connection. And so the days of the week are named for like Thor's Day, Frigga Friday. She's a variant Frigga Friday.
I don't like this, Dylan. I mean, that would make sense.
Frigga, whatever.
For her,
Freaking Frigga.
For her to be an AI variant.
That's the big reveal.
That's the big reveal.
Cha.
What was the other thing? Oh. So the answer to the question. Let's just talk about everything that was in the void. I guess.
So many
things.
Easter eggs. We've already talked about all the Kang things.
Yes. Well, I mean, so it also answers another thing that I asked last week. Are there other heroes or anyone else here? At some point in time, there were.
Yeah.
Because
maybe Eliath consumed them.
Because they're heroes, and they'd be like, "Hey, I'ma fight you!" Oh. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, I'm pretty sure the only reason that Throg was still alive is because he's in a jar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hilarious.
Who wanted? That was so great.
So I'm just guessing.
Hopping at Mjolnir.
Throg and Alligator Loki must be from the same timeline.
Very possibly.
I feel like they are. It's great. I love it.
And the only reason Alligator Loki is in there because he ate the wrong neighbor's cat.
Also, this. I mean, no one said this, but I'm gonna say it because I thought about it. It was like, that's a frog. You're an alligator. Are y'all from the timeline where everybody is like talking animals? Does that mean Spider Pig is there? Where is Spider Pig? Peter Porker. Ha cha 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 cha. Yeah. I want to see. Give me some Peter Porker. So, I mean, maybe they low-key confirmed that that timeline exists where everyone's animals.
Yeah.
Which would
I mean, if he's a Loki.
if he's a Loki.
He could be the one behind it all. And just...
I'll just unsubscribe from Disney Plus at that point. What? I just will. So yes, there were several things. Several historical things, again.
The warship itself, from the Philadelphia experiment, the one that supposedly could travel through dimensions and turn invisible and all these different places, which, I mean, confirmed?
I guess. Well, the first time I saw the pirate ship, I was like, well, maybe that's the Black Pearl. In my brain, in my head canon, it's the Black Pearl. And I was like, oh, Disney's putting other things in here because they want to make a super movie. Don't do that.
Yeah, please don't. I would have loved to have seen something from like the old timeline or the old like X-Men or Fantastic Four type things.
Yeah. I mean, we had one of hey, we have a message. No, you won't. No, I won't. What? Oh.
Shayla's chimed in.
Yes. I would. Oh no, I wouldn't hate that. Yeah, I would hate that.
Oh.
I don't want to see Jack Sparrow fighting the Avengers. I mean, just because Fast and Furious can basically fight the Avengers now doesn't mean I want to see Jack Sparrow try to fight the Avengers.
And didn't they already do that in that video game sandbox where you have like the little
Disney Infinity?
the Infinity thing?
Where they had Disney, Star Wars, Marvel.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
You could do whatever. I watched one video because it looked really cool and I wanted it, but I was like, that's so much money. I have enough things. Where someone recreated the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin on Mustafar. Like, it was a good,
Wow.
like, 20 minutes, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Man, you spent so much money. Have a good day. Yeah. So, it was a lot. But yes, what were some of the other things that were there?
Okay, so we got Thanos' helicopter,
Hilarious.
which I mean, there was kind of an Easter egg in Endgame where his blades and he spun it. Yeah. So that was in like one of the OG Thanos comics.
Yes. Back in the Gizzy app.
You won't unsubscribe.
I won't unsubscribe. Oh, because of my children. Yeah, I won't.
She won't let you.
Yes, that.
Shayla showed up and and you died.
I'll delete Disney Plus. Those messages pop up slow. Oh,
Yeah, they do. Sorry.
That's fine.
I need to figure out how to do them right so they don't like just show up right across our faces.
Will they show up here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to figure that out.
What was the other thing? Thanos' helicopter. Kid Loki.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't talked about him at all.
Yeah, I mean that's another. Well, a little bit last week. We've got another young Avenger.
Maybe he killed Thor.
Yeah, but
Killed Thor.
I mean he might be redeemed at this point.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see
I mean that's why he's the king.
he is the king. You do well to mind the boy. He's the king here.
Which is really, really interesting for old Loki to say that.
Yeah.
Like he's just over himself. He's so old. He's just over himself.
I'll let this.
They
kid
seem to be
handle
the only Lokis that are just sick of all the Lokis.
it. Yeah. All the other Lokis are like. All the other Lokis can be summed up in one word. Well, no, one sentence. What did they say? They were all up there. It's like, I thought we had a deal. On the contrary.
Yeah, one of them was off screen. I don't even know who it was that was saying it to President Loki.
Yep. Hilarious. But Kid Loki killed Thor.
Mm-hmm.
My original theory. Well, I know.
And we didn't get any confirmation where he actually is. I mean, we saw classic Loki come back and be devoured by Goliath.
Yep. So Kid Loki could have just went back and cleaned house. But he gave Loki the twig. I saw one thing.
Oh, the golden sword from
Yeah.
from the comic.
Yeah. My original thought's like, let me tell you my original thought, and then I'm going to go back to that. Because I guess that's what it is. That's fine, but I don't want it to be that. What I would like it for it to be is the sword of Satyr? No, I'm saying it wrong. Sutaur. Whatever. Horn guy. Ragnarok. I'm blanking on the name.
Oh, yeah, the guy that had the horns. And,
Yes.
Yeah, that brought around. They put his
Satyr.
crown in the. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was Satyr.
Yes, Sword of Satyr. Which made its first appearance in, wait for it, Journey into Mystery.
Ah,
124.
title of the episode.
Title of the episode. And I was like, oh, that would be really cool. And it flames and everything. I'm like, can that be his sword? Can that be what he used to accidentally kill Thor? Because, also going back, I was like, I remember this Thor cartoon that aired Well, I halfway guess the cartoons are canon from time to time. That when I was in high school, I remember watching. It was about Thor being a teenager, and him and the Young Warriors 3 snuck into the Frost Giant's castle and stole the Sword of Satyr that the current king of the Frost Giants had beaten him for in a fight. So he had took it and he was using it, and that's the sword he had before he got Mjolnir. And Loki then hatched a skill. Loki tricked him into going to steal it in the first place to cause the Frost Giants to come and get his brother.
Wow. I do not remember any show with young Thor like that.
So, I mean...
I wonder if you could find that on Disney Plus.
Hopefully. I really do. There's a
Bring
lot
like
of...
all the old stuff on there.
Yeah, they should. But yeah. Yeah, they got like all the 90s stuff, so it should be on there. But, yeah. So, like, maybe that... And I was like, well, maybe that's the event. That's... Instead of Thor, like, besting them and giving the sword back, he decided to not give them the sword back, and he got killed. And then Loki just took the sword, and then he got pruned.
Oh, I see. So he didn't directly kill Thor. He indirectly set it up where Thor would be killed.
Yep.
In a Loki way.
In a Loki kind of way.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, yes.
Okay, so also, man, I'm trying to think. There was something. Okay, so we saw Ronan's ship was one of the Easter eggs in the background.
Also, what did he do to get pruned?
Who knows? Maybe he didn't fight the Nova Corps.
Maybe he got one too many Infinity Stones?
Maybe. Or maybe he actually defeated the Nova Corps.
Or he beat the Guardian?
Yeah, maybe.
There's a lot of instances of where Ronan could have been pruned.
That would have been funny, though.
Would have been very funny. Yeah. So just slowly screaming. I want to see Drax get pruned now.
I don't know why that would be so funny, just to see his reaction to that. I don't know what he'd do, to be honest.
I don't know either.
If I don't move, I'm not pruned.
I'm invisible. You're not. What are you doing? They're gonna get you. I am Groot. I know. I told them they're gonna get him.
Wow. Oh boy. Okay, so all right, so we've got that. We've got the pyramids. We've got there was a helicarrier with the Hydra logo on it.
Yeah.
So a timeline where Hydra actually won and had the helicarriers. I'm really drawing a blank right here. I wish I would have wrote notes for this episode.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, that was the big things in the background. There was a homage to the gentleman who created the TVA.
Yeah, on the back of
The pizza truck.
the pizza car. Yeah.
Don't know why that got pruned. There's a lot of things there that don't make sense of why it got pruned.
Maybe
But-
it wasn't pizza time.
Okay. Well, what else is there out there?
Oh wow.
Boastful Loki. Boastful Loki. Our first true introduction to him, when they're all there in the bowling alley, he was telling them the story of like, yeah, I beat Captain America and then Iron Man, and that's how I collected all the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, no wonder he's boastful Loki. And then like when he double crossed him, he was like holding his homemade Mjolnir up to their neck like it was a sword or something. Like, what are you just gonna push him around with it?
Gonna push him around, Henry Adams?
John Henry.
Adams? Wait, why do I want to keep throwing...
John Adams was the president.
John Adams was the president. Why do I want to keep throwing Adams on the end of that?
I don't know. You were almost there with Henry.
I was almost there at Henry. Who's John Henry Adams?
I don't know. Maybe I should Google that and see. John Henry Adams.
But yes, boastful Loki then ended up betraying the other Lokis because he had made a deal with President Loki.
It's a DC character.
Is it Steel?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's why.
Yep.
Okay. That's why it's in my brain.
Yeah. Just knocking around in there.
So yeah, which also, have you watched Superman show? You watched Superman
I heard
show.
it's really good.
It is really good. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, and then that started the whole cycle of events that led us to the very beginning of our show this evening, of us talking about old Loki. He started the events of them fighting, and then magic, and then portal.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm so out of it. I'm like kind of.
Okay.
I took a nap before this, so I'm just like, my brain is not working today.
So meanwhile, while all this is happening, back over the TVA, Ravonna Renslayer.
Who's potentially so she's potentially a hostage of old Loki to try to control Kang because that's his lady love.
Because that's his lady love.
And she is mind wiped so that she doesn't know she's a hostage.
Yep.
So man, that just makes sense. That just makes sense. I'm gonna get behind that theory that it's old Loki because we've got that scene with King Loki.
King Loki.
And we've also got where they're walking through the castle, I guess, and there are all these cracks, but they're filled with gold. That's like the
Asgard?
well, it's kind of like, you know how like the Japanese technique of filling cracks with gold.
Yeah.
It's on one of our Broken Pictures logos.
Yes.
It's like the same theory, or same thought deal.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's kind of like symbolism for where Loki is now. That this Loki, he's cracked and he's broken, but those cracks have now been filled with gold and beautification process and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down with it. Because this Loki's come a very long way.
He has. This Loki is
beyond where Loki was when he died.
I think so. Like, I mean, even that the Thor Ragnarok Loki had to be chained up and untrustworthy, saying he didn't know who Thor was and was still trying to manipulate. Even though behind the scenes he was still like, "Hey Thor, we can get you out of here," and all this kind of stuff. When he showed up to rescue his people, he was like, "Here I am, your savior." So, like, he was still Loki. Like, this guy, like, he knows ruling isn't going to make him happy. He's not being the guy.
Yeah.
Isn't what he's after anymore.
No.
I mean, like, that part, I feel like that's actually broken off of him.
It is. It has, and it got melted away by the girl version of himself.
Yeah, which,
once again, most narcissistic thing ever.
yeah, I think it makes sense story-wise for Loki to fall in love with himself, and that's also the very thing that changes him and changes who he is and the way he sees things. However, some people are completely offended and grossed out by it and are trying to cancel it on Twitter and all this jazz, and yeah.
They have a child. What is that child? Is that child just a clone?
I mean, so it's kind of like, yes, they're variants of themselves, but they're also different people.
They're also different people.
Because old Loki or classic Loki is not the same as Kid Loki, is not the same as Alligator Loki,
No.
is not the same as TVA Loki, is not the same as Sylvie. You know what I mean? They're all. It's like a football team. You know, they're all cowboys, but they're not They're not the same cowboy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Makes sense.
I don't know why I chose the Cowboys, but
I don't know why either. But makes sense. Dylan, are you secretly a Cowboys fan?
no.
Okay.
I think because I recently heard the Post Malone version of Hootie and the Blowfish song, "Only Want to Be With You,"
Oh.
and he, instead of the Dolphins make me cry, he said the Cowboys make me cry. But
Huh?
hey, Kristen, how you doing? It's my
Good
old
analogy.
coworker on Twitch.
On Twitch.
Y'all go when you're not watching us on Twitch, go watch her play her game. She's got a lot of content up, and she's also in school to be a game developer. Extremely smart and a fun person. I'm good. It's just we're gonna reconnect, right? It's been a couple months.
On the show. But yes. Oh, I'm fine with Loki and Sylvie being a thing.
I don't think it's a problem.
not a problem.
Some people are very offended because they made such a big deal about him coming out as bi and gender fluid.
But they both are.
Yeah. And now it's like, oh, well, now that's tainted because now he's in love with himself.
But
I mean, it's Loki. I mean, you have a problem with that, but not the fact that
it's the man
comic
who
book
porked
Loki.
a horse.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like, I think it makes sense because it's Loki, and that's the only reason. Like, it was already a bad representation.
Dylan,
It's
where's the
already
soapbox? I'm gonna stand on it for a second. Real quick, that's the craziest thing. So like way back when you talked about toxic fandom when it came to like Star Wars and things, but it's this other. There's this you could. Here's a graph. I don't have an actual graph of like toxic fandom, and it's like toxic fandom of folks who are like hardcore fans. Then there's like a sliver over here of toxic fandom of like casual viewers, of like who think they know the character because they've been introduced to like this is who they are for like this section of 10 years,
Yeah.
but have not like opened a page to like see, because not everything they put into the movies and the shows is for just the casual viewer. Really, these past 3 shows have been like for like hardcore diehard fans of like anything Marvel, because there's some really deep things in here.
Deep cuts, yeah.
Yeah. So it's always weird. Not saying that anybody's like you're entitled to your opinion of it, but at the same time, the man has the horse.
He's not wrong. And I mean, the Loki mythology character is technically different than the Marvel character, which is technically different than the MCU character. They're all different variants, quote unquote, or whatever.
Quote unquote.
But they're all the same. It's Loki.
It's still Loki.
And it's like at their essence, at their core, it's the same character, and it's mischievous, it's evil,
What did
it's
Sylvie say to him? What did Sylvie say to him when she
a
was
lot of things.
when she was kneeing him in the nuts?
Are you talking about Lady Sif?
I didn't say Sylvie. I didn't mean Sylvie. Yes, I mean Lady Sif.
Oh, you'll always be alone?
She said something else. I thought somebody said, I know someone at some point in time has said the only person you love is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
In like one of the Thor movies or somewhere.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, and he's such a raging narcissist. Yeah. Kristen said, I think the show is great. Enjoy the uniqueness of it. Same.
Yeah.
I'm loving that they're really going there with this one.
Yeah.
There are some things that they
What's up?
touched on in WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier that were very, very in core comic stuff, but they also kind of glossed over a little bit.
Tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah, but I feel like Loki, they're really, really going for it. Like
Yeah.
they're just like, hey, you know what? We're all nerds here. Here's Thanos' helicopter.
It's like y'all here for the third show? Cool. Here's the extra stuff.
And I love, it's all canon now.
It's all canon.
It's all canon. Per Kevin Feige, these shows are canon.
Hilarious.
I mean, this is the Tom Hiddleston, not a TV version.
It makes you wonder during the time.
Makes you wonder during the time frames of the movies. Maybe we're getting a different Loki. I mean, to a certain degree, like he has morphed into a different Loki now. I mean, he's adapted. Like like we were saying, I don't even think he's the same as the Thor Ragnarok Loki now.
I don't
like,
want to
he's
get
a
Rick and Morty right now.
I mean, so Rick and Morty writer is one of the writers on the show.
Oh God, he is. Please don't Rick and Morty me. It's okay. Everything's fine. Soft hair, soft world. Soft hair, soft world.
Morty.
Oh, jeez, Rick. I don't really think we should do this. You know what, Rick? You.
We really need Andrew here to do Rick. He can do a good Rick.
He can do a good Rick. Rick and Morty. This last episode made me cry. We'll get to that later. But what else is in the show?
I don't know, man. Okay, so we covered more. Okay, so last week I kept saying Morbius. It's not Morbius. Morbius is the living vampire, is a Spider-Man villain who's also got his own movie coming out, played by Jared Leto. Mobius, as in the Mobius strip, in science and whatnot, and time travel and all this.
Yes. I'm a vampire.
It's like the gayest vampire I've ever seen. I mean, yeah. You're not wrong. I mean, but so Mobius is going to burn down the TVA. There is also another theory that Mobius, oh my God, I cannot say Mobius.
Triple M?
Yeah. Is He Who Remains. He's the last TVA agent that creates the timekeepers and everything at the end. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, we've got one episode left to see him on a jet ski.
we do. We can see him on a jet ski later.
It would take 5 seconds to rip through a portal and
yeah,
here you go, into the sunset.
into the sunset. They could give you that gratification, or they could do like they did in the very beginning of the MCU and just be throwing random things in the background, like Captain America's shield. They were throwing it in the background. It was one of the Iron Man movies. They were throwing his shield in the background.
I do not remember that.
Dylan, it was also like 12 years ago.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's fair. But I recently have gone back and watched all that, so. But, yep. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's anything else to talk about besides what can possibly happen, and we've already talked about that. Where's Ravonna? Renslayer?
Oh, B-15.
Oh, yeah. So, Hunter B-15. So that's another tie-in that it could be an old Loki variant because the
Banking on it hard. Yeah.
The prison, man, that nap really hurt me. the prison that she was in with the red kind of glossed over stuff looked very, very similar to the one that Loki was in Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah.
Only red.
Only red.
So there's a theory that is just Asgardian magic, and that's.
And once again, the runes that are in the thingamabob timekeeper chamber, which is why the Infinity Stones, because for some reason the Infinity Stones and other magic just doesn't work here. And yeah,
I'm still in the camp that it's in the quantum realm, and that's why, because things don't work normally there.
wouldn't they? I mean, time acts different there, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But technology works there for sure. We haven't had any instance say magic wouldn't work there. Because
I mean, technically, the Wasp gained magical abilities through that.
So, I don't know. Throw Doctor Strange in the quantum realm, see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the Sanctum Sanctorum was amongst the rubble.
Was it?
Yeah,
I do not remember seeing that.
yeah. It was the opening scene coming in. It's over on the right hand side. My wife sent me something. What is she sending me? Oh, Captain America shield spotted. Right here. Right there.
Oh, okay. In the very background, there was like a prototype. I think that was Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, yeah. So.
And he ended up when he was trying to create the molecule, he ended up using it to kind of prop up
things.
the collider that he was building.
And Coulson was like, "Dude, what?
Mm-hmm.
Can I have it, please?"
So, is Coulson in the void? How many different? I mean,
it's a possibility.
Alternate timeline Coulson, and still no answer on if that was Peggy Carter.
Oh yeah.
Unless the writers and directors have answered in an interview that I didn't see.
Yeah. So.
Or maybe they're just leaving that one open ended. Who knows?
Leaving it open ended until somebody's movie. But yeah, there's all that. Hunter B-15 fully awake.
Mm-hmm.
Renslayer is like, "Yeah, homie, tell me what's actually going on." And she's like, "Nah, I'm cool, fam. I'm gonna sit here and chill with my memories back, and you can suffer when Sylvie comes for you." And Ravonna Renslayer, even though she knows Sylvie pruned herself,
Yeah.
she was, I'm paraphrasing. Dylan's looking like, "I don't remember these lines."
No. I think there are some things that Ravonna doesn't know, but I think that she's playing coy with a couple things that she knows that they just assume she doesn't know. Because she totally knew about them being sent to the void and all that stuff, and she acted like she didn't know the whole time.
Acting like she didn't know.
Yeah.
She acted like they got killed.
Yeah.
Because essentially you do.
Yeah.
If you go over there and... Because the first second you drop in, if you don't get away from alive, you get... Yeah.
And there's the other theory that Mobius is a clone, like or different variants, like in the comics. There's a council of Mobiuses, like a ton of them, and there's the scene where the other agent that he kept teasing at. I mean, they laid it on thick that episode that there was another agent. He didn't know who he was or who he or she was, and the rings on the coffee table. Oh, you've left all of those. I don't remember leaving those. And he doesn't remember the alligator Loki either.
Nope. But they were sure that he was the one that came and got him. Because they asked him. Because I guess he deals with all of the Lokis. Mm. Oh, right.
It could very well be the other version of him and not just look like him, too.
Yeah. So, the other thing was the reason that, and I've said this before, the reason that King Loki, we'll just call him King Loki, King Loki, the guy who I'm saying is in charge of the TVA overall, also, and you've said this before, is like not wanting other Lokis to be variants or interfere, not just for the fact that they're a variant, but for the fact that
he's the superior Loki, and only Loki could challenge a Loki.
And if they end up doing, and like they could follow the same line of events that led him to where he is now, and then that way he'd be like, "Nope, y'all need to quit. Nope, because if you follow these events, you're gonna have to deal with this, and you already don't know what you're doing, so please stop."
Yeah.
So any other version of me just needs to die.
Yep. And I mean, he's technically not killing himself. He's just sending himself somewhere else.
Yeah.
Which I guess, classic Loki came to that realization that he just needed to be alone, away from everybody, because everywhere he went, he caused trouble. So that Loki could have the same realization where, you know what, I just need to separate myself from everybody. And he just keeps pruning himself because, hey, I'm screwing things up.
Because he'll end up screwing up this, and then Kang will get through.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, by nature, he's an agent of change. He goes in and he shakes things up, whether he means to or not. That's just what he does with his mischief and whatnot.
And Avengers Loki, that's what we'll call him. Avengers Loki says he's not different, but Sylvie is different. But what if they're not the only?
And that's what changed him, is Sylvie being different. And the only thing that made Sylvie different is that she was disconnected from the timeline and everything that makes Loki a Loki, just trying to survive.
You know how you turn it really dark and sad? If they
just give me a sec.
They go there, they find Loki, and just for giggles, we'll just say it's Tom Hiddleston in old makeup. And they fight him and everything, and Tom Hiddleston Loki kills Sylvie, and then
Which Tom Hiddleston? Old Tom?
Old Tom Hiddleston.
Okay.
We'll just say Old Tom. That's what we'll call him.
Tomcat.
And then you have Avengers Loki down there sad and mourning, and then he goes into like a rage, unleashes this like full fury of like magical power to the level of classic Loki. Then he kills that Loki, and like with his dying breath, he uses the same like enchanting magic that Sylvie uses, touches them in his brain, and since their minds are the same or equals, he just passes on his memories to him, showing that he did this we can say 1,000 years ago to the Loki before him that was like this, and so forth and so on, so that this can always happen.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Self-repeating loop.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, just a little side note. I think this whole show is just made up of side notes. It's just like side note after side note. We have seen, just like I thought, a lot of people thought that telekinesis was new for this series for Loki. Mm-hmm. And we actually had seen him use that in a very small way in Thor: The Dark World, and he blew some chairs away. We have also seen him do the illusions all the time, but we've also seen him enchant people. He went in Thor Ragnarok, he went into Tessa Thompson's character, I can't remember, Valkyrie, and saw her past. Like went into her mind and saw her memories.
Yes.
So, I mean, this is Loki before that, so he might not know he could do that yet.
His power, he might not have a chance to hone his skills.
Yeah, but by that time, he had started to figure that out.
Yeah. Because what the event would be is him having the scepter that has the Mind Stone in it and using that. And then saying like, well, I wonder if I can do that, but with magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that Loki was only able to use the scepter to do that.
Yeah.
To mind control folks.
So then,
But he worked it out.
Because
he's clever.
Well, next week everyone's going to cry, so it's fine.
Probably. It's probably going to get crazy. I mean, there's no probably. I'm not going to rage if we don't see Kang, but I'm going to be disappointed because at the very least I want to see a Thanos after credit scene where Kang steps out.
Yeah.
Or something to that effect. just like at the end of Avengers, and he's like, "My lord, to fight these men would be to court death," and he just gives the turns around and the big grin. I want to see that type of thing with Kang.
Yeah. And it could be something extra simple. He just, like TV.
If they really wanted to validate these Disney Plus shows, that would happen.
That would happen. And I done said it once. All you have to do is one thing. Once the TVA falls, because I feel like the TVA is going to fall, and then it's just going to be time chaos. That's what season 2 Loki has to be. And like, we'll just say all the variants got their memory back, and then they start just opening time portals, going back to where they were, or the moment they got taken, or whatever.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if Kang is the big bad for this whole next, was it, decade?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how long was... Thanks, Kristen. Thanks for stopping by and popping in.
Thank you.
So, if Thanos was like, how long? Like a decade, I guess, where they're setting up all this?
10 years, yeah.
But according to Kevin Feige, there's no more like that long contracts, so maybe they're doing the phases differently going forward, and maybe COVID has kind of changed that, you know, the way things work. I really hope that things are still super connected,
Yeah.
and Feige isn't just kind of disinterested in doing that now. I really hope that they still do that moving forward,
Yeah.
and they don't stop doing that, and we see something big coming that sets up everything else, because Black Widow is the MCU's return to the theater,
Yeah.
and we've got Spider-Man, we've got Doctor Strange 2, we've got the Eternals, Shang-Chi, like things are a lot of things in the pipeline right now.
Picking up.
So the next, what is this, phase 5? It's going to be, it's going to be in full effect very, very soon. In the next year, things are going to be like, we're going to be in the middle of it. But the Infinity Saga was a huge chunk, foundation for everything.
Foundation.
Is this next one, I don't know if it's going to be the same length or just like little chop bits of it. We're setting up Kang. We know we got the Fantastic Four coming down the pipe. This place does look Victor Von Doomish. We're probably not going to see Doctor Doom.
If we
There's
see
no
Dr.
setup.
Doom,
That would be
that's
totally random.
Left field, like it's all been green. I thought you figured it out.
Doctor Doom does magic too.
Doom does magic too. He does weird.
What?
Has everything been pointing to Doctor Doom? Oh crap, Dylan! Has everything been pointing to Doctor Doom?
That would be like the hardest Feige flex I've ever seen. That he cast somebody that he was in talks with 5 years ago, and they've been Doctor Doom just waiting in the wings this entire time because Fantastic Four is worth it.
Magic.
And we're getting the real Doom this time, not Nip Tuck Doom or Rock and Rolla Doom.
Rock and Rolla Doom. I hate and love those names. Because making androids would be fun. There was a.
I mean, they were saying those look very similar to Doom bots.
He also. Oh my god. He did.
It's making my brain hurt.
He did get lost in time for a little while.
I mean, it's a castle.
It's a castle.
That would explain why he hasn't been in the main timeline.
He's been holding the Fantastic Four hostage this entire time.
I mean, the Void is technically a version of the Negative Zone, and all this. I mean, the Void is a precursor to the Negative Zone and Fantastic Four and all that. So.
Oh crap! Well, it's Doctor Doom, y'all.
hurts.
It hurts. Okay.
Okay, so
Well,
random left field villain possibility.
it's Doctor Doom. Man.
That would be nuts. That would be the positive version of being Ralph Bonard. It's like, here's something from left field, but it's something that you really will enjoy.
You'll really enjoy.
If it's Doctor Doom, like, it will break the internet.
It'll
It
break
will
the
break the internet.
All
If it's Kang,
right.
it'll break the internet, even
Yeah.
though everybody's kind of expecting it.
Expecting Kang.
Yeah,
But it's not going to be
Hoping.
Kang.
yeah.
It's going to be Loki.
It could be Loki and Kang.
It could be Loki and Kang. Ravonna Renslayer like kneeled down on the ground. We'll cut above her head just because she got hit by something Mobius hit her in the face with. Got all her memories back because I feel like that's what Mobius is going to have to do to bring down the TVAs, give all the variants their memories back. And then we know old Tom has been beaten. A portal, a different looking portal, because all the portals look different when they open up.
And so I also forgot about this theory, is that it's actually old Ravonna Renslayer. It's
Disgusting.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, but
What is that version of her? And she's got
Terminatrix.
Terminatrix. She's got a Metroid looking spacesuit that she can create illusions with and appear as other people herself.
Yep. She uses stuff.
So
like
I mean,
that.
the theories are rich.
Theories are rich. And if you go off the formula of the MCU, the formula of the MCU is you will not be introduced to a new character during the show itself. Credits don't count. Meaning, we've been introduced to everybody now, possibly who could be anybody if there is another character to be revealed, which narrows the possibilities down. Narrows the possibilities down a lot. So it could either be some other version of what's his name?
Mobius.
Richard E. Grant.
Classic Loki.
Classic Loki, some other version of Avengers Loki.
Young Loki, even.
It could
The
be
king.
young.
They've already said he's the king.
He already said he's the king. Could be.
And there was no check-in with him at the end of the episode.
Yeah, it could be Kid Loki. It's not boastful Loki. It could be Ravonna Renslayer. Could be another Mobius. I was about to say Morbius. It could be Old Lady Sylvie. It could be.
Ooh, that would be crazy.
Yeah. It could be. That's the only reason I'm not saying that it's Kang. If Kang shows up in this show, it is because Kang walks through a portal and be like, "My darling, it's been too long," and then she'll be like, "Kang."
That reminds me. So, one of the shows that we love, Lovecraft Country, has been canceled.
Yeah.
And the star of Lovecraft Country
Yeah.
is Jonathan Majors,
Yeah.
who will be playing Kang. So
Yeah.
that kind of speaks to how involved he's going to be, that he's not going to have time to do a season 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So go watch Lovecraft Country and cry.
Yeah,
And be
because man, they
scared
set up
and
a season
cry.
2 hard.
They set up season 2 so hard.
Burn it to the ground.
But also, well, I mean, Doom Patrol. I don't know why I just want to say Doom Patrol.
Doom
but
Patrol's amazing.
Doom Patrol's so good. You know who's really good though, Dylan?
Brendan Fraser.
Danny the Street, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brendan Fraser too.
Yeah. Danny the Street.
Danny the Street. Oh. Man. All right. So, but yeah. So he can appear, but if he appears, it's going to be either the mid-credit scene or the full-on after-credit scene.
Because, I mean, it's not the MCU unless we get
Yeah,
a end-credit scene.
an end credit scene. And for
We've had
him-
one midway through.
Yes. If we have a, and it was good. It was good, and it made me raise my eyebrow and sit up. If we have Kang show up and then him and Sylvie fight Loki, him and Sylvie fight Loki. Loki and Sylvie fight Kang. I don't know, it doesn't feel like much of as big of a payoff, because then Kang's going to lose because there's a season 2. And this is just me using real world things to logically write this story myself.
Yeah.
Because Kang shows up, him and Sylvie lose, then Kang gets flung out into the quantum realm, saying that all of this is in the quantum realm. So then, later, he will run into Ant-Man and Wasp, he will probably also somehow lose to in some way, because he's not going to kill them. At best, it's going to be a draw. That's another thing.
Just kind of how Thanos lost until he was like, okay, I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah. So, like, if you're building a big bad, your big bad can't be coming up there like some grunt and be getting gut punched by every hero he meets.
Exactly.
So
Variants of Kang.
Variants of Kang, sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, that just sets up the Council of Kangs, which would set up a whole nother thing. But do they want to do that?
He's like, psych, it was just me. It wasn't me, but it was.
It wasn't me, but it was. Because then, I mean, shoot, they could have kind of did something similar with Age of Ultron, but they didn't. Because they...
And just to throw this out there, another variant of Kang is you.
What?
You're wearing purple.
Well, dang, Dylan.
Right here on the show. Right here on the show. Variant of Kang. What do you have to say for yourself? We knew it all along.
Morty, get the time gun. Ow. I wouldn't mind being a variant of Kang. I mean, will I lose? I mean, it depends. Depends if they hit my chair hard enough.
Your chair?
My time chair.
Oh, gotcha.
That where I just press a button and I make an impenetrable force field.
Yeah.
And then I laugh and shoot random missiles. I don't know. They're just random things.
There's so many different, like, DC versions of the same characters. That's funny.
It's hilarious. So, yes.
Like the guy that created the mother boxes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, any final thoughts? I know we've been all over the place, but that's per usual for us.
Per usual. I don't have anything, actually, besides I hope everyone's ready to be disappointed and don't get your hopes up. Just go ahead and tell yourself it is an older version of Loki, or even like
just actually Ralph Boner. It's Evan Peters.
It's Evan Peters. It's Ralph Boner. He shows up. Hey, here's... Would you guys like an autograph? And then just
Can you pay my bill for me?
And then that's it. Credits. That's all.
Or it's Agatha all along.
I'll play that song.
Speaking of, right here on the show, you're wearing a purple shirt. Agatha variant. Right here. What do you have to say for yourself?
Once again, Dylan. Day.
We know what her magic looks like.
We do.
It's purple.
Huh. Wait. Hold on. Was there anybody doing purple things in Falcon Winter Soldier?
Oh, Baron Zemo. He's purplish. He's got a purple mask. Right here on the show. Baron Zemo variant. What do you have to say for yourself?
Agatha, Baron Zemo, Kang, all of them, Thanos. They're all purple.
Oh, yeah. The Disney bad guys are purple.
Disney bad guys are purple. That's how you know you're a Disney bad guy.
Well, actually, green is the Disney bad guy magic.
If you're in like the cartoon.
Yeah, that's true. Like in the Princess.
Yeah. Because Maleficent's magic is dumb green.
Yeah.
You know who I'm happy didn't have magic? Cruella DeVille.
Cruella? Oh, yeah, that would be weird.
Which, for the longest time, I didn't know her name was Cruel Devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
French Cruel Devil or
I'm
something.
like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That song though is still a banger. Yeah. If she doesn't scare you, no evil thing will.
No evil thing will.
All right.
You know who has real bangers? Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Did you find his bells?
What? No, I'm talking about the
bells?
soundtrack.
Oh, okay. You're staying in context with what I said. Mike.
Yes.
How dare you do that?
That's all I got.
All right. I mean, that's all I can think of too. I appreciate you guys hanging out for as long as you did. Once again, thank you.
What?
Oh, I thought.
Wait, hold on. A thing popped up. Y'all need to go to bed. Okay. We'll do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Shayla. Shayla shows up and puts us in our place. That's Quinn's wife. So, all right.
Okay.
Thank you. We're going to wrap it up because we need to. Thank you guys for hanging out with us once again. Appreciate it.
I'm stirring the pot.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Because everyone's going to be super sad next week. I'm telling y'all, just tell yourself it's low. Set the bar low. And so then when it comes time for the thing, you'll be fine.
I feel like that's like really good advice for life, too. Just no expectations.
FOMO show. We give life advice too.
That's what you've been missing out on. You didn't know you needed it.
Didn't know.
That's how you really win at life. You give people what they thought they didn't need, but they did.
I thought it's if you roll a 10 and then go to... Huh? Wait, which life are you talking about? I'm talking about the board game.
It's actually spin 10. It's a spinner, not a roll. When you said roll, I thought D&D, but I was like, why a 10, not a 20?
Not a 1 at 10.
Anyways, yeah,
Okay.
we're rambling, and I've lack of sleep is taking over. So thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I've been Dylan.
I'm quit. I'm reading what you said. Also, if they wear gloves, they're...
Yeah, and if they don't use iPhones, because they're not allowed to use iPhones. Villains are not allowed to use iPhones in the movies, because Ryan Johnson revealed that. That was how people figured out that Agent 13 wasn't a good guy, because she had an Android, and everybody else had iPhones. Yep, because Apple will not allow their products to be seen in that light.
Dylan, please turn off the show.
FOMO.
That put me in the grave. All right.
Yep. All right. So,
right.
yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the little bell icon
Dang.
so that you know when we drop new videos when we go live. Thank you once again for tuning in, just playing it in the background or whatever, and just putting up with our shenanigans. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, and peace out.
Bye.